In 1996, Orson Scott Card unveiled the fourth chapter of the enthralling Enderverse saga with Children of the Mind. Spanning 370 pages, this installment seamlessly continues the intricate storyline initiated by its predecessors, Speaker for the Dead and Xenocide, solidifying its status as one of the most extensive continued narratives within the Enderverse. This book was originally the second half of Xenocide, before it was split into two novels, and it is therefore not surprising that the plots of the two novels are so thoroughly intertwined, as we will see later. Despite a slight dip on the sci-fi Mohs scale, attributed to the infusion of fantastical elements nudging the tale into the realm of science fantasy, Children of the Mind remains a testament to Card's narrative prowess. The introduction of these elements, while altering the genre dynamics from the military sci-fi displayed in Ender's Game to something resembling more space opera, serves nonetheless to expand the story's scope, mirroring the impactful shift that we have seen previously in Xenocide. Card once again exhibits his skill in interweaving disparate plot points across various locales, resulting in a cohesive and expansive narrative tapestry. While Children of the Mind may not reach the groundbreaking heights set by its predecessors, it manages to captivate with intriguing concepts in isolated instances. The storyline maintains also an elevated level of complexity in its dramatis personae, surpassing the initial two entries in the series and holding its own against Xenocide, of which it is essentially a direct continuation as previously mentioned, including its protagonists and side characters. Children of the Mind's critical reception dropped off noticeably in comparison to its predecessors, since it was only nominated once, namely for the Sayun Award for Best Translated Novel in the year 2002. In contrast, Children of the Mind's popular reception holds its own against Xenocide, as both novels reached a combined score of 3.9 out of 5 stars based on tens of thousands of reviews on the usual aggregator sites. As mentioned in Xenocide's review video, this is not an outstanding rating by any stretch of the imagination, but rather hints at issues dissatisfying the core readership of the Enderverse, something which we will discuss in due course. As per usual in book series with storylines spanning several novels, you should be aware of potential spoilers when the plot is briefly summarized. Hence, the following synopsis will contain major spoilers for Speaker for the Dead, Ender's Game, Xenocide, and potentially even Children of the Mind itself. Keep this in mind and proceed accordingly. After the events of Xenocide, Jane, the advanced computer intelligence, exploits her newfound abilities to transport Formics, humans, and Pequeninos beyond the confines of the known universe, facilitating instantaneous travel to distant habitable planets for colonization. Thus, the looming destruction of Lusitania by the human fleet would not automatically result in a second Xenocide. Unfortunately, Jane's memories and focus wane as the vast computer network linked to the Ansibles faces shutdown. To ensure her survival, Jane must discover a method to transfer her Ayua, or soul, into a human body. Meanwhile, Peter Wiggin and Siwang Mu embark on a journey to convince influential groups within Starway's Congress to rescind their order to destroy Lusitania. However, will these last-ditch efforts be enough to avert planetary catastrophe? We shall see. Children of the Mind, as previously mentioned, unfolds as the natural continuation of Xenocide, essentially serving as its second half what it basically was intended to be in the first place. Consequently, it resists standing alone as an isolated novel, aligning itself with the semi-objective metrics applied to Xenocide, albeit with some minor alterations in the originality section. Much like its predecessor, Children of the Mind inherits certain drawbacks, particularly concerning the Ribeira family's relationship dynamics, with Ender Wiggin finding himself on the periphery of the narrative, if not more so than during the events of Xenocide, which is likely one substantial reason for the book's mixed reception among fans of the series. Furthermore, the narrative introduces new technologies, powers, and elements exhibited by various species and individuals, occasionally testing the limits of suspension of disbelief. The story, while carrying the weight of an overarching planetary catastrophe, grapples with shortcomings as certain aspects are handled in a manner that seems incongruent with the gravity of the situation. Instead of allowing the thrilling and suspenseful essence of the overarching plot to fully unfold, the narrative at times awkwardly navigates toward comedy, undermining the potential for a fully realized and gripping exploration of planetary crisis, something that was masterfully achieved in Ender's Game. Overall, Children of the Mind is the necessary conclusion to the story arc that began with Speaker for the Dead and continued throughout Xenocide. Sharing its origins with Xenocide, Children of the Mind should therefore evoke similar or even identical reactions among the readers. So, if you hated, disliked, or enjoyed or even loved Xenocide, you can be pretty sure that Children of the Mind is more of the same, for better or worse. If you liked this video, you may also enjoy the other reviews and content on my channel. Feel free to leave a comment if you want to discuss the novels or if you want to suggest other books that I should review in the future. Please consider upvoting and subscribing, it is much appreciated. Thank you for watching and until next time.